S.K. Pierce Mansion, which is located in Gardner, Massachusetts, commands attention at the crossroads of West Broadway and Union Street because of its towering architecture. When seen from the outside, the traditional Victorian is the ideal example of a haunted home because of its grey siding and black shutters. When it comes to the inside, the situation is much more dire, to the point that the couple who owned the house from 2008 to 2015 only resided there for a span of 2 years until they felt they had no other option than to displace themselves. On the other hand, in contrast to the majority of other mansions in the nation that are infamously haunted, the S.K. Pierce Mansion was never the location of any renowned crime. In fact, it was the ideal house of a rich businessman and his family, but it turned out to be a nightmare almost immediately after it was finished being built in the year 1875. In honor of its former owner, the wealthy furniture maker Sylvester Knowlton Pierce, the home, which encompasses an impressive 6,661 square feet, was given the name Sylvester Knowlton Pierce. It was a wonder for its day, since it was outfitted with elements that were considered to be state-of-the-art at the time, such as gas lighting in every room, a large Winthrop furnace, and running water throughout the whole building. Pierce did not try to save money while he was constructing the 3-story house, but unfortunately, he did not have enough time to appreciate the results of his effort before a terrible accident occurred. Susan Pierce, Pierce's wife, died away from a flesh-eating bacterial illness only 2 weeks after they had moved into their new home. The unfortunate reality is that she would not be the last member of the Pierce family to pass away in the home. In the year 1888, when S.K. Pierce passed away, at home, the house was left in his will to his second wife, Ellen Pierce, who in turn passed away at the same location. After that, the house was left to S.K.'s 3 sons, who fought for years over who would control the family home and the furniture company. Eventually, the 2 oldest sons moved out of the mansion. On the other hand, Edward Pierce, the youngest son, did not experience any success or enjoyment as a consequence of his acquisition of power over the Victorian. At a tragic turn of events, his daughter Rachel Pierce, who was just 2 years old, passed away at the house due to a bacterial illness. Later, once the family money was reduced as a result of the Great Depression, Edward and his wife decided to turn the home into a boarding house in order to make ends meet. When the home was in the process of breaking apart in 1965, Edward was compelled to give it away to a friend. This was the first time that ownership of the house had been transferred to a person who was not a member of the Pierce family since the house was built. Ano Sori, a native of Gardner and a veteran of World War II who resided in the mansion during the time that it was used as a boarding house, was the 5th and last person to be proven to have passed away in the home. He died of burns in the main bedroom in 1963, when he was 49 years old, when his mattress caught fire for unknown reasons before his death. Since then, a number of guests and past inhabitants have reported experiencing a similar experience in the main bedroom. For a brief while, they are confronted with the transient aroma of something that is burning. According to legend, the ghosts of the deceased members of the Pierce family are also thought to make their presence known. There have been several accounts of a ghost that resembles a kid, who is believed to be Rachel Pierce, playing in the rooms located on the 3rd level. However, it is eerie to note that these 5 are not the only ghosts that are still present in the home. During the 2 years that Edwin Gonzalez and Lillian Otero resided there, 2009 to 2011, numerous neighbors reported seeing a little kid with yellow hair running back and forth between their windows. This is a particularly unsettling sight when one takes into consideration the fact that the couple did not have any children of their own. On the other hand, their own personal experiences inside the house were far more upsetting. Edwin and Lillian experienced many creatures around the home, including a shadow figure in the basement and a dark-haired lady with a frightening grin who may or may not have attempted to possess Lillian. In addition, they heard footsteps that did not belong to them, doors that slammed, and things that moved on their own. The narrative of these individuals, which is filled with horrible incidents such as these, was finally written up in a book titled Bones in the Basement by Joni Mayen. In the basement, there were really bones, as the spoiler will reveal. In addition to shadow figures and possessions, it is important to point out that not all of the ghosts who haunt the S.K. Pierce Mansion are gloomy and potentially dangerous. The home has been visited by a large number of psychic mediums and paranormal investigation organizations since the early 2000s. The majority of these individuals have described the same few spirits each time they have been there. One of these spirits is Maddie Cornwall, the young nanny who was responsible for the care of the Pierce children. There is a widespread belief that the mansion was the only location that really felt like home to her. It is also thought that her ghost serves as a guardian of the house, ensuring that the other spirits are kept in control and warding off any unwanted visitors. However, the doors of the haunted Victorian will soon be opened, and the public will be let inside. After the present owners have completed their renovations, they want to make the mansion available for historical tours and overnight stays. The current owners purchased the property without having seen it in April of 2015.